Hello again. Here we are, Waltham Road, going back to the station. Just dropped off a pleasant couple. Just got back from Barcelona, so nice for them. Here we go. So I want to talk about on this one another taxi-related issue as part of the. I'm going to do a series of taxi-related issue videos. So I'll put them all in a kind of like a playlist on my channel. And this taxi related issue is to do with that thing that people do, which is to assume or firmly believe that taxi drivers operate to rip them off. So they will in their thoughts that they will take a longer route, more convoluted route perhaps, or other things I've heard people say is that they've deliberately slowed down at traffic lights just so that the lights will change to red and then they'll have to stop and the meter will tick on while they're standing there. So what I've got to say about that is that it just doesn't happen. I'm not okay. I'll take that back. It really, really doesn't happen to anywhere near the degree that some people think it does. Now, there may be some issues to do with cities and places like London, where you are going to get a lot of tourists, people don't know the area, and they don't know, how to get to places and what have you. You've got to rely on the taxi driver to take you the correct way. The taxi driver probably more often than not knows that you're not from around that area. However, I would suggest that the next time you're in a city and you don't know the area and you don't know where you're going and you're relying on the taxi driver, if you have a smartphone on you and you've got mobile data, or if you savvy enough to have the offline maps downloaded of the area that you're in, then you can actually just sit there with your phone in your hand and you can see whether this driver is going the wrong way or not. It's very, very simple. You can bring Google Maps up and put in your destination. So I would say take some power back to prevent this from happening. Now, in my situation, in a small town like Grimsby, the vast majority of journeys we take are very short, and in most cases there really is kind of only one rational way to get there. And predominantly because it's not a tourist town, most of the people you're picking up are local and they know the area, so you're just not gonna get away with it. Somebody's gonna say something. Now, the other thing is what people don't realise is that it's actually really not worth a taxi driver. Certainly, a taxi driver in a town like this, it's just not worth our while to do it. The truth of the matter is that I whatever fare I get, I want to get you to where you want to go. And I want to get you there as quick as I possibly can, and then get back to the rank so I can get another fare. That's how I increase the amount of money that I can earn. I don't want longer fares necessarily. I want lots of fares, and the more the merrier. I've got no interest in taking you a different route, say from Grimsby station to Cleethorpes High Street, for example, because there's about kind of 3 rational routes that you can take for that journey, and the difference between the 3 of them on a cost wise is literally 10, 20, 30p maximum. It's just simply not worth your while going on a different route, which would be slightly, a bit slower, just for the sake of getting another 30p. And I find it ridiculous when people have said, "Oh, you're going the long way round, mate." when I know that I'm not, and then that the relationship at that moment has kind of broken down a bit, because once a person has decided, once a person has lost his or her trust for you, it's very difficult then to explain to them that that you do know what you're doing, you do know the best route to take, and it's actually, as a Hackney driver, it's within our remit to take the cheapest route. That's what we have to do. That's part of the rules. So for me, I don't think I would always endeavour to take you the cheapest route, and because I would be far too worried that somebody who knows could potentially report me to the licensing office, and I could find myself suspended, have my license suspended, or even revoked. Now, it's just if you think that a taxi driver is going to go out of his way, deliberately do that just for the sake of an extra 20 or 30p, or even if you could find a different route that would give you an extra quid, it's just simply not worth it. And you'd really struggle to find a different route to Cleethorpes from Grimsby town station that could possibly go anywhere near putting an extra quid on the fare. So it's just too much work, and it's just simply not worth it. So if you before you jump up and down and sort of immediately mistrust the driver and assume that he's trying to rip you off, just find out for yourself. If you don't trust them, pretty much everybody these days has got access to Google Maps, and you could even work out all your routes before you even leave the house. So really, I think that the idea of being ripped off by taxi drivers is something that you definitely could say about sort of more like metropolitan cities like London, Manchester, Birmingham, Glasgow, places like that, where you've got lots of tourists and so forth. Yeah, possibly. In a town like this, it's just not going to happen. So just relax and try and trust the driver, because it's in our interest to get you to where you're going as quickly and cheaply as possible. It's not in our interest to put our jobs on the line for the sake of a few bob. So that's that. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy this kind of thing, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I would like to make the channel grow a bit if I can, and anything you can do to help me would be greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot for listening. Have a good day.